Good morning. It's a gorgeous sunny morning. Of course, that means it'll be a really hot July day. But I thought I'd share a little bit of our process when I design a page. Even though I'm using everyday moments from close to my heart, it gives you a nice, easy pattern, but I don't always follow the pattern. And I like to think of easier ways to make them. And sometimes I have difficulty placing my pictures. So I thought I would share that with you today. This is a really cute, simple pattern, and it could be any colors. And this is the background page. It has a cutout. Whoop, I guess the cutout goes that way. Has a cutout on top, and then you layer your pages. What I did when I cut out the cutouts, I centered my cutouts so that I could use this big piece of paper as my 1/4 inch trim all around the page. So that's my first page. And for a corresponding page, because the pattern only gives you one, I did the same exact background. And then I used the scraps. Because these are 2 different colors, and each one has these big cutouts. Here's a sticky here. Here's a picture that, again, I used the center. I cut out the big pattern for a smaller page, and I kept the paper to use as my background. And I took the zigzags that were left over, and I designed the second page. And what I did was I flipped the image, so when you put these pages together, the hearts will be together. Now what about a skinny page? Or an 8.5 by 11 to be more exact. I kept the same proportions. So I took an 11.5 inch white background square, and I shrunk the whole thing to an 8 inch square. So 10.5, I'm sorry. Let me think. If it's a 12 inch page, then it's a 11.5, you want it a 1/2 inch smaller. So this is an 8.5 inch page, so I designed the white to be 8. That will give me a 1/4 inch all around. And so I kept the proportions, and then I put 2 of these together just by flipping them and stretched it, welded it to make the 8.5 inch page. It's becoming easier to take a 12 inch page and making it into an 8.5 page, working with these everyday moments. So this background just has more decorations because I centered the motif. And for the second page, same white, and again I used the little leftovers to make my page. Now I'm going to show you the 8.5 by 11. I needed letters for my titles. I actually cut them out of a page, and I put them just plop in the middle so I could use the page rather than waste it. Because if I cut all these letters out, it wouldn't have been 11 inches long because these are wider than 11. So I used the back of my page. Again, just a way to be cheap. Okay, so where do we start? Let's start with our big pages. Oh, maybe before I start with the big pages, I'll mention our cards. Sometimes you just need simple note cards. And these were all leftovers. When you're cutting out all these zigzags, you have the big piece in between. I was actually wondering if we could take all of them, put them together, and cut it out, and then just flip the back since close to my heart paper is 2-sided. So this one I used this month's stamp of the month, and I put thankful for you every day, and just put another little leftover in there, and that makes a nice note card. This one I cut out on the joy, and it actually made some shapes for me, white shapes. I only used one inside, but I found it wasn't worth cutting out the whole because then you had to attach the back because I didn't want corner slots. And so this one wasn't really worth the time that it took to use it. But again, I used my July stamp of the month, sending my love, and a little flower. And this is my favorite. Very simple. exactly like the page, but smaller. I just shrunk it. And inside, I just put a little sentiment from the July Stamp of the Month set. Sometimes you don't want a real elaborate card, and a very simple one does the trick. Okay, so for my pages, what did I do different? What did I do the same? For these ones, I use only the big papers, or the big pictures, 4x6. But I found the Daydreaming, or the Daydreams title, did not show up well because my pictures, they're my grandsons at the beach with their other set of grandparents. And I want to bless them with these pages. They had the right color clothes on. My daughter's good at that. She didn't even know I was going to make these pages. But they had a salmon color short and navy blue, even though I'm using a turquoise. It went really well. But when I put the title, which has a white background, on, it didn't show up on top of the pictures. So I just took a scrap of glacier and put the title on. And you can, it comes with more layers. It comes with, if you want to center, if you want to add more detail inside of your Daydream, it comes with another whole letter cut out. That's a little too tedious for me. I don't really enjoy that. So even after I get this done, let's see, I'm only going to put one picture on this page, I think. Even after that, I found it didn't show up well. So I found an old Twilight. That color worked perfect. And that just gives me even more dimension. I'm not going to pop it because I'm going to use a few flip-flaps. Maybe I should put glasses on. So this is one of my pictures of the three boys. That's going to be my main picture for this page. And I want this beautiful star to show. This is pretty heavy, so I'm going to put a little more adhesive. Okay, so this will be my first page. Now I want the cards or photos on the other side to line up. These are the dear grandparents from South Carolina who rented a beach cottage for them for a week. And I was so jealous that they got to see my grandchildren. And then the socialization, I'm not seeing my grandchildren, but they're a lot younger than we are. A lot better health. So, God bless that. Okay, now, I actually think I'm going to cover up the corner design and line up this one. The reason I'm covering up the corner design is I have a little tear in it when I took off the mat. Okay, I'm going to add a journaling block to this. And I think I'll just center it between those two pictures. Okay, and here's the companion page. Now you know me, I like my flip-flops. And on the page with the grandparents, I've got to put this picture. This is of Elijah. Sorry, I got the trash can there. This is Elijah, and he was not a cooperative child for this photo shoot with his grandparents. And there's a little bow tie, but this distressed face has to go in there, but I don't want it to be a key picture. So I'm going to include that picture underneath. I'm going to place it right over Jonah here, lining it up. So we have these nice little decorations that are scalloped mats. You don't have to change the scallop mat. Let's see, that looks a little crooked. I'm going to try that again. It looks a little crooked. Oh, I just realized what I did. Okay, a lot of people do this, and now I realize I'll probably be editing this out. Who knows? I like to put these in plastic before I add my zip strips on. And now I know why. I might have to reprint that Jonah picture because it's taking off the print. Well, so much for demonstrating the process. The process is you make mistakes. So when I put this picture on, put it a little crooked. When I went to take it off, I took off a little of the printing. So little Elijah will have to wait into another one. But this will make two pictures that you can add to this. If you do it upside down, this will be up, and when it opens, it'll be down. But I think I'll add this to the plastic page protector, and you've seen me do that before. And for the dreaming one, I'm not going to add a third picture. I'm going to put the three boys standing up, and then I'm going to put journaling here. In fact, I'd like them to tell their story in their words, and I'll add it about the daydream at the beach. Okay, so we have two completed pages, except I have to reprint that picture. You saw me make a good mistake. If you put it on the pictures, it's not really a mistake because you can slice a line in your page protector, your big page, 12 by 12 page protector, slide it through, and it can be attached to the bottom page. I usually like to just put them on the page protectors. Okay, let's go to the little pages. Now, for these ones, I had difficulty in sizing. I wanted to use a basic, 2.5 by 3 inch picture. But I found when I just did the shrinking of the 8 inch, the mats were too small. And so I had to just go in and make them larger to fit my picture. And then it'll fit a basic size. This is when the little boy is a little bit happier. So this one I'm going to use all three boys, and I'm just going to attach them right on top of my star, even though I love my star, and let some of the accents show, the cutout accents in the background. And of course, you know, I do have more pictures. I have Judah in one of his stanzas of telling his brothers what to do with his finger. I have his lovely parents. I have a great picture of Jonah or Alayne. So there's going to be a flip-flop here somewhere on the plastic. But we're going to just ignore flip-flops today since I already goofed. Now, here's my daydreaming. I did other colors, a few other colors. And this one I did a glacier background, and here I did a little peach soft side background. And again, there's more layers to this. If you want to be more fastidious than me, you can. It's almost a shame to cover up all these zigzags, but I will. Since I'm not going to do a flip-flop on Jonah, I'm going to cover him up a little. I'm actually going to put my tag over the edges and then just trim it because, again, I want some of that beautiful background to show. Okay, so there's page one. And now in this one, I'm just going to put 2 in a journal block. Now when I was doing the journal block, I lost one of my pieces. Didn't find it, found it later under my chair. This isn't how I was going to do it, but I like it. Put my tape on there. It looks beautiful in front of the leftover pieces there, right in the middle. Nice and soft. Okay, let's see how that looks. Alright, I like it. I might have to make one more accent for this page later. I'm not sure if it'll be balanced. Since this is slanted, I think I am going to slant the journaling. And there you go. That's my second page. I'm not sure if I like that slanted journaling. We'll have to see when I start writing on it. So there'll be no flip-flops on this page, and it might need a little accent there to balance it out. So the Everyday Moments patterns, this was a 12 by 12 square layout, and we made it into a different size. But you can use these backgrounds for any size pictures you want. And of course, this could be any colors. I hope you're enjoying this Everyday Moment little series. I find that being absent from my grandchildren and the people I love during the socialization is a little bit hard. So by playing with pictures with them, it helps cheer me up. So I hope you enjoyed the process today, and I would love to see what you make. Meanwhile, don't forget, I have a Zoom meeting every Thursday at 11 a.m. and I sit at the desk and work and talk to you while I work. You can share what you're working on and ask questions about Cricut or close to my heart or life, or share your successes and even your failures so we can encourage each other. So have a great week. Stay cool. God bless.